All right, I watched the first episode of the Superman and Lois series for CW, and it's not bad. Some elements was pretty good. Of course, the weak parts of it, as I expected, was the story for the teenage boys, which falls into formulaic teen soap opera material, which probably over time will be the main focus of the show. if it could maintain what they have for this first episode, which I'm pretty sure they can't, then it might not be too bad. It'd probably be more on par of Stargirl, which turned out, to my surprise, to be a pretty good little show. The special effects in it, of course, is CW level, but it's up the level when they can do it as good as they can get, and it's fine. There's several cool scenes of Superman in action and saving people from a nuclear reactor meltdown and that sort of thing, and where he seals it up, of course, with his heat vision, but then he cools it down by creating basically an iceberg with his super breath in the water, and then dumps it on top of the the plant. It's cool. It's like something out of the old Super Friends cartoon or whatever, but it works out. Another cool thing is they do some flashbacks in the opening of him, describing how he got there and all that stuff, and then how he met Lois. But one of the cool scenes of one of his first appearances as Superman, his costume is very much different. It's actually an old classic Superman outfit based off on the Max Fleischer version of Superman, which kind of wish he just kept that one. But that was a nice nod to that. And then establishing things. Well, the kids are, it's the kids actually. Only one of them is having any trouble. There's the popular kid, and he's the jock and everything, and then the other kid, he's withdrawn and going through things, man, and all that stuff. Of course, he's the one. Spoiler, turns out to have superpowers. So, and Dad's never around. You lied to me, Dad, because he's Superman saving the world. You little asshole. So of course that's the whole thing. They find out that he's Superman when he kept it from them because he felt it was too much of a burden for them to know. Plus, he didn't know how they would handle if one had superpowers and the one didn't. They expected the popular jock son to have the powers because he was so good at football. They figured, oh my God, that must be why. But then it turned out the opposite was true. And all that. So some of the things are a bit forced, as the popular kid is Jonathan, and Jordan is the kid who's has troubles. But he all of a sudden becomes suspicious. Something's going on, man, and they got to investigate the barn. But Dad said we never go in there, so let's go. And they go in, and there's an accident, and how did we survive it? And he discovers the ship that's buried underneath the barn and all that. But it's a bit forced as to how he gets so suspicious all of a sudden to do this. And then he's all upset. You lied to me. And then there's a girl, of course, that he has a crush on. But turns out she already has a boyfriend. The boyfriend shows up to beat the crap out of him. His brother comes to his defense, start beating the crap out of the brother. And then Jordan's eyes glow, and he causes the little bonfire they had for the little teenage party they were having to explode. And so, yeah. Meanwhile, there's a mysterious villain who attacks Superman in some sort of Iron Man suit, and they go flying all over the place into orbit and everything. And then at the end, there's a teaser. This character who was causing all the nuclear plants to melt down and stuff like that, goes to this ship, and there's a computer talking to him. He takes off his helmet. It's a bald man, and the ship refers to him as Captain Luthor. Now, they've already introduced the Lex Luthor played by John Cryer, so this character refers to his world has been destroyed, so either he's an alternate Lex Luthor, or perhaps from the future or something like that. Plus, I'm not sure, but in the lighting of it, looked like he might have been a black man. So this would be either, again, someone from the future or an alternate timeline. And since Superman is now a survivor of the crisis, and the CW Arrowverse, as it was once called, is now merged into one, perhaps there are still remnants left over from the old multiverse, and their worlds were not saved, and this could be one who's not too happy about that and is attacking Superman, even though he wouldn't be the Superman he knew, I guess. Well, who knows where they're going with it. But he's a Luthor nonetheless in some form or fashion. And that's the ongoing mystery there, which is the more interesting aspects of it, of course, the superhero aspect. But it's going to be more of a small-town family drama with a few superheroics thrown in it. But if they can, tighten it up to where they can get more of the superhero stuff in it, it might help. It would help the show go forward. I know it's going to be predominantly that, but you're going to have to up that, and if necessary, again, keep coming to this with these CW shows. If you would tighten them up and shrink the amount of episodes, you could do that. But in some aspects, they obviously don't care. Why in God's name is Batwoman getting another season? I don't know. But it is, oddly enough, they announced they were going to do a Wonder Girl series based on the new Brazilian version of the character, who's only like a month old in the comic books, the Yara Flor character. And then that decided not to do it, and I kind of wondered, they probably should have just canceled Batwoman and done that one, but for whatever reason they didn't do it. So I don't know. So that's why things like that are bizarre decisions for really crappily executed shows, that the odds that Superman can maintain any kind of excellence that's been achieved here, well, the odds are against it, because that's how the CW rolls. So, but gotta hand it to him. This was, it's not overly spectacular. There was some interesting things here and there, but it's okay. But enough to say, oh man, you got to tune in. Not really. But if you want to. But anyway, so it's overall a good enough series. It's still in keeping with Supergirl. Had started this too, where they kind of they're taking from the Christopher Reeve version of the story, even to the point that Lex Luthor in that had done his plot to nuke California and stuff like that. And of course, this version of Superman is somewhat derivative of the Christopher Reeve version of it, and obviously his Lois Lane, they think they were going for a Margot Kidder look with her and all that. So that's where they are. And so now, due to the troubles that their Jordan is having, they decided it'd be better if they moved back to Smallville and save the farm. Clark's parents now both are gone. Also, keeping in with the Christopher Reeve version, his father, Jonathan Kent, had died when he was still very young, a teenager himself, which is in keeping with the Christopher Reeve version of the story. And now Martha has also passed on. And so in her memory, and of course to get a more simpler life for his kids, who are now both 14, so he's running out of time to give them a simpler childhood. But nevertheless, that's what he's doing. And in the background, Morgan Edge, who probably will be a Trump character. That's how it's being described. And his interesting thing about Lois is complaining about all these corporate people come in and buy up media companies, and all they want is clickbait. And what mindset is doing that? So anyway, there'll probably be nods to it, but if that's all it is, it's not as bad as one could expect. I didn't really see a whole lot of political sermons in this one other than that. And if they can keep it at a minimum like that, that would also help the show. But they've got to find ways to up the ante on superhero action, because teen soap operas, or any soap opera for that matter, is just not going to cut it. So basically, it's a small town soap opera show with an occasional superhero. That's what it is. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.